What's up? How you doing? Here we are. Today is a beautiful day. It's like late spring. That's what it feels like. Even early summer. Beautiful, nice. Temperature is just right. Humidity is just right. You have a feeling of well-being here. So I'm reading this ridiculous book. Obviously, I don't believe in the existence of Bigfoot, but since I am at the place where the $6 Million Man versus Bigfoot was filmed, I figured why not bring this book and talk about Bigfoot. And he's right here. Look at that. So right in here is where they shot the scenes when Lee Majors and Andre the Giant were fighting. Andre the Giant being Bigfoot. And I remember being a kid, I was fascinated, even though by today's standards, you know, you see it from the point of view of an old person. And the show is ridiculous. But back then, as a kid, that show was awesome. I couldn't get enough of it. And Bigfoot was kind of like what they brought in to revive it. Every kid in my neighborhood was watching that. Andre the Giant. I remember he was walking in this area, and every twig that he was stepping on was amplified. So, Sasquatch. I remember watching that, and I remember they said that the Native Americans call him Sasquatch. And I don't know how a grown person can actually believe that that this kind of an animal would exist, especially in this kind of an environment. Primates, besides human beings that have adapted, cannot survive even here. You know, you would have to you'd have to be close to the equator, be warmer, tropical fruit, things like that. I know some primates eat meat, right? Like we eat meat. But for the most part, monkeys, orangutans, baboons, huh? Thinking of boomerangs or something. But anyway, baboons, they live in tropical environments. They don't live where it's snowy or cold or any of that. Many years ago, me and my bride were driving through the state of Washington, and every place you stopped, whether it was a restaurant, a car repair shop, something like that, they always had some reference to Bigfoot. Some of them even had wood carvings of Bigfoot that were the size of, like, you know, 8 feet tall, 9 feet tall. And one place we went to get an alignment for the car, driving a lot, and felt like the alignment or the balance was off. And we entered the parking lot, and right in the front they had a huge sculpture of Bigfoot. But like I said, I can't see being a grown person. Maybe when you're 5, 6, 7 years old, you can buy into this. But when you grow up, believing in Bigfoot is like believing in Santa Claus, a tooth fairy. And they have a picture here, an artist's rendition of what a young Bigfoot would look like. Let me see if I can find it here. Somewhere in this book. Oh, you're gonna love this photo. I mean, this drawing. Showed it to a friend of mine, and he commented, and he said it looked like Chaka from Land of the Lost, and he's 100% correct on that. It does look like Chaka. But I mean, everything in here is ridiculous. I bought it. I'm helping out the guy who you know, believes in this stuff. Wrote it. It's a brand new book. I mean, newly written now. It says made in the USA, Las Vegas, Nevada, February 8th, 2025. So this is fresh, as long as you're watching it now. If you're watching this years from now, then it's not fresh anymore. But yeah, I wish Bigfoot was real. You know, I'd go, you know, exploring and bring one back. Get in the Guinness Book of Records or something for capturing the first Bigfoot. But you got to be logical about it. You know, it's not a real thing. Think of all the people that have hunted in the past 75 years. How many people hunt today in places where they claim that Bigfoot exists? You would think some guy with a rifle would have taken one down by now and brought it into town, you know, or, you know, caught one, wounded it, brought it back alive. You know, I mean, they brought King Kong back alive, but not one hunter, not one anything scientist has ever captured a Bigfoot, because they don't exist. That's why. It's very simple. And the other thing is, you know, I mean, how many are there of these big feet, right? What do they have, like, you know, 3 of these things on the entire continent? Because if there's a lot of them, which there would have to be, otherwise they would go extinct, eventually you'd bump into one. You know, I mean, elephants, right? They're not that many, but eventually you bump into an elephant if you go to their habitat. So this is nothing more than folklore. Just like a lot of things that people believe in, folklore. But, you know, interesting. I like the drawings though. Look at that. And never one has been, never mind caught alive, but even dead. You know, like somebody says, you know what, I was walking and I saw this big thing and I got close and I realized it was a big ape. Nobody, not one. So these things apparently dig their own graves. And, you know, I'll tell you what I think they see. The honest ones, not the ones that flat out make this up. I think what they see are bears, you know, walking on their hind legs. You know, they'll see a bear in the distance, and it's much more interesting to say it was Bigfoot than to say it was a bear. You know, and they make it up. You know, I'm sure some people think, oh man, that's a Bigfoot. And the other thing is, nobody gets a clear picture. You know how many phones exist now? Millions and millions of these. And yet, anytime there's a UFO to capture or a Bigfoot, it's always blurry. Even though these things now shoot in 4K, they're great at night, low light. You know, I shoot pictures in the dark all the time. I look at them and they look decent. Yet when you see a Bigfoot, it looks like it was taken with a Polaroid back in 1977 while you were shaking. So, anyway, I look at this stuff the way I look at the 3 Little Pigs, Jack and the Beanstalk, things like that. And then you get serious, you know, people like, where's this guy from? Some of these people, like this guy here, Dr. Lynn Curlin, professor of electrical engineering at the University of Wyoming, and yet believes in Bigfoot. And then this Ron Moorhead, I don't know if he's got a degree. If he does, it's worthless. Because if you have a degree in science and you believe in Bigfoot, you know, you're equivalent to what a lawyer would be in the slip and fall field. Asinine, right? You know, and then they say, well, it's got to be real. Chinese people have Yeti. You know, they have Yeti, which is a good thermos. The Native Americans, Comanches, Apaches, they have Sasquatch. Europeans have Bigfoot. And I am a big fan of, what's his name, Superfoot Wallace? Yeah, that's the foot I'm a fan of. You know, I remember him years ago. What's his name? Superfoot, right? Superfoot Wallace. Yeah. He had that left leg thing going. Eventually he used it so much that he had to get hip replacement surgery. He said apparently the doctor told him that those kind of kicks, they wear out the cartilage and they damage the bone. I could have told you that. It's like weightlifting. Weightlifting is good to a point, but if you are, one of those people that want to show off with the amount of weight you can lift, and you do that too long in your life, you will damage your joints, including your heart valves. The stress you put on lifting heavy like that, it's not good. I know years ago they used to say, oh, it's very beneficial, it does this. No, it's not. It's not. All those guys that were in their prime in the 80s, if you see them now, they're horrible shape and they're all in pain. They're all in pain. Going on to a different topic here, boomerang. This one is made out of wood or some kind of material. And once you get the hang of this, it comes back to you. And there was a 3 years ago, I was going to say a couple, but it's more than that now. Maybe more than 3. We went down to Barango Springs, and I had a frisbee. I had a frisbee too, but I had a boomerang. And I want to say it's a law in science that if you play with this long enough in an area where there's shrubs, you will lose it, guaranteed. So I ended up losing one the other day in Nevada, lost one there. And yesterday we went and we were at the Devil's Punch Bowl, and we didn't lose it, but I couldn't get it to get back to me. It was going straight line. So today, hopefully, I can get it to work. It takes a little practice. But these originally were for hunting birds. So I guess if you missed the bird, it would come back to you, so you'd save energy. So we're gonna try throwing this thing around. It's made of some kind of wood. I like to go to the desert, to the dry lake bed out there that I go to, and do it there. Can't lose it there. Sticks out like a sore thumb. And I should have got a bright orange one or something, or a yellow one, or something like that, fluorescent. Because when these things disappear, they disappear. Anyway, look at that. It's a good looking Bigfoot. Anyway, I'm going to try and get some practicing with this. Well, it's happened. On my first throw of the boomerang, I was getting very impressed with the curvature. It was actually spinning. It looked like it was coming my way until this tree got in the way and got caught in one of the branches up here. Now, I can't even see it, so I'm looking right where I saw, the boomerang hit, and like camouflage, it's blended in. I don't see it. I got myopia of the eyeballs. I don't know what's going on there. Now, if I was in my prime right now, if I was a kid, I would be taking all these broken branches and throwing them up there, and eventually something would shake and the thing would fall. But I don't even see it. At least if I could see it, I know what I was throwing at, right? Very annoying. And I was very happy for about 2 seconds. I go, wow, look at it. It's spinning around my way until this tree got in the way. Very annoying. This will be boomerang number 2 lost in 2 days. Now I feel like these little flies, very annoying. I feel like I think I have rope in my car, my truck over there. Throw it around one of these branches and then just tug on it up and down like that. Eventually the boomerang will fall out of the tree. But right now, I feel like I felt when I was a kid. Remember when you were a kid, you'd kick a ball or something, or a frisbee, and it would land in the tree or in the neighbor's yard or on the roof of your house. Little flies. That's what I feel like now. I feel like the ball went over the fence into the neighbor's yard, and I can't get it. And I'm not sure if I brought rope. I usually do have rope with me, but I do remember taking it out one time because I needed it, and I don't know if I put it back in. Murphy's Law, you know, Murphy's Law.
Whoa, little fell. Never was in this one. There it is. You got a little something in your hair.
All right, here.
Just imagine it got caught on there. Ow, I jolted my head. That was like the best one, right?
Yep.
Oh, that was bad. Sorry. No! Should have caught it. That wasn't great. Okay, that's... Sorry. Water.
All right, we're done. So this is what happened. This is a recap. I came in with my boomerang, and on the first throw, it made a circle and it went up and got stuck up on this tree, this big, huge tree, and I couldn't even see it. It just like vanished into the tree. Camouflage, perfect. So I thought about it for a while, and then I realized I may have some rope in the car. So when I got the rope, threw it around the branch and tied a stick at the end of it, and I did like tricep exercises. Did it for a few times, nothing fell down except dead branches, and then eventually it fell off the tree and it landed on the ground. I then picked it up and started to throw it. When I get the hang of it, I'm able to do pretty much a 360, except you need a clear space because sometimes it climbs and it goes into a tree. So I played that for a bit, if you want to call it played, and then I went on the other side of this area, and there's a bushy tree down there, and I threw it and it made a 360, and it went up, and it went stuck on the tree, stuck in the tree. And I went there and I could see it, but it was kind of like in this kind of an angle, so it was hard to see, but I could make it out. So I sat there and I found some heavy branches and I threw them, about that long but heavy, and I threw them up, and every single one of them got stuck up in the tree. So found more, threw them up, another one got stuck. So I said, yeah, the branch thing is not working. So I found a rock about that size, and I threw the rock up and down, up and down. Eventually I hit it once, I made it jump over to the next branch, got stuck again, and then I threw it again after a few tries, and I knocked it down. So I'm actually leaving with my boomerang, and then we played a little bit of the frisbee, but this frisbee is a really heavy one, 200 grams, and takes a little bit more of a skill to throw it correctly. Where I'm used to the other ones, the regular size one, those 175, yeah. So anyway, we're gonna go now, but beautiful day here, beautiful day. We're gonna get a beverage and probably food, and continue on with our life. Capiche? It's like a little plane. Earlier I saw a really strange helicopter here. Very strange looking. Was not LAPD, it was something else. Anyway, that's it for now. Ciao.